friends, today we're going to use tissue paper and Mod Podge to make some patterned background. And I have tissue paper from all over. So I have these pretty ones a friend of mine gave me. So I'm going to keep those over here because I have a lot of, when you get orders from Joggles, a lot of times they will wrap it in tissue paper, which is maybe one of my favorite things about them. And then I also have some napkins from years ago. But what I want to do is I want to be thinking about color combinations and things like that. I think we're going to make maybe 6 fronts and 6 backs. So 6 pages. Okay, and I'm going to do a little experiment because I found also over here some watercolor paper, and I'm not familiar. I know watercolor paper absorbs liquid much better. Oh, it's thick too. Oh, that's fun. So we're going to do 2 pages of watercolor paper just to see what it is, and because I have it, right? Like if I have paper, I want to try to do something with it. So let's start thinking about color combinations. I love this teal. So we're going to do that for a half. I love these spots. Those are adorable. And I have a ton of them. So let's take one set of the spots. Let's try to consolidate our papers. So we have spots. Oh, here's some more of that teal. Here, I love this black and white. That is really cool. I've used this in another project. Here's some more of that. Here's some leftovers of that. Oh, there's some kind of floral. This is napkins that I must have purchased. So we should take one of those. All right, here is, oh, that's beautiful. We'll use that. Okay, I feel like I have my first pairing. I could do this and this, or I could do, let's do this and this, this and this. So those go together. Ooh, here's a napkin that's black and white. Maybe we can do a black and white page. How fun would that be? Pink. I don't really need pink unless we did pink with those guys. And I got these napkins from Ninny's Napkins years ago. Okay. Oh, there's just one little piece of that. That's not going to be enough. Okay, let's keep looking. I get this a lot. I love that. I want to find something red to go with that. Here's some more of this one. And feathers. I don't know if that's my jam. This is for dads. Oh, there's more feathers. I used it for something, obviously. It's very pretty. It has gold in it. Oh, there's pink. I don't want pink. I want more of a red. This is very springy. Oh, these guys go together. So we already have that match. I did something with that one before, too. I love the doodly bits of that. I feel like if we could find at least a little bit... Well, here, I have a whole bunch of it separately. So I feel like that could go with the spots. Let's put that together as a group. Although I do want it to be kind of opposite-y. Opposite-y? Is that a word? So what if we did this and that? Let's do this and that. And let's do pink and this. Oh my gosh, look at this. That's gorgeous. I love that. Okay. And it's all crinkly in little pieces because it had something I bought in it. Okay, we're actually going to do this and the black spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more to get started today, and then I'm going to pick other ones while they're drying. That's a very pretty color. Okay, very specific though. All right, that's cute. Very twee. Could this go with this? I feel like those two could go together. Yeah. Okay, we got 6. Yay, yes. And we're going to hoard our black pieces again. I want to find a brush I've already ruined with Mod Podge, because I tend to ruin my brushes with Mod Podge, but I need a bigger brush. I'll be right back. Okay, I found 2 big brushes that were definitely ruined that we need to use isopropyl alcohol to fix. This one definitely has been used for Mod Podge before. That's a good brush. We're not using that. Okay, let's go get our papers. And let's start with mixed media, because I know mixed media. I understand how to work with mixed media. Watercolor is a little different for me. And we're going to keep this little silver thing here and put it back down, because that helps seal the lid back down. Okay, let's start with this one. And we're just going to put this right here on this bottom. And I'm just putting a thin layer of Mod Podge all over this page. I don't want it to be too much, and I don't want it to be too little. I want it to be just right. And I have a lot more playtime because I live in Florida, and everything stays. I like this with the wrinkly top. Okay, I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to go out. And I don't care if there are wrinkles. I like wrinkles. I want to keep adding layers of wrinkles and dimension and things like that. But if you care about that, you can lay it down a lot more gently. Now, another tip I will be doing is taking one of my other brushes and going along, because I don't mind wrinkles, but I don't want like big gaps. And for some reason, a brush distributes the weight more easily and can push this down more easily and press it into that Mod Podge. Now, I'm not going to seal the top of these with Mod Podge. Mod Podge is a sealer, so you could put it on the top and the bottom, and the top would seal it, and no inks would get into this layer, but that isn't what I'm going for. So now, let's grab this. And that's about right, huh? And I just cut hunks off of my papers. I'm sure there's a more elegant way to do it. And we're going to Mod Podge again. Now I am going to Mod Podge over, oh, we need to shake our Mod Podge, heck. This Mod Podge is very liquidy, and to me that feels like, and since it's a new one, it feels like I probably need to give it a good shake. But I'm going to finish this part. And I'm going to try not to get Mod Podge on my school clothes. Okay, let's stick this one down. And then we'll give that Mod Podge a good shake. And then I'm going to go around these edges a little bit where I don't feel like it really made it gluey. Because I do want it to stick around the edges. And look, we already have a piece ripped off up here, which to me is just amazing texture. But you might be offended by it. I just am not. Okay, where's our dry brush? And there's one. And today I'm just putting together the color combinations with you. Tomorrow we will start working on them as actual backgrounds. Okay, let's do this one. So I only need 2 of these. And then I am going to flip over this part because I don't want it to be folded over. I'm going to do this one and I will be right back. Okay, just got the glue down. And let's go get as much of it as we can because this is really beautiful. And then just kind of work my way out. If you were trying to work out all the wrinkles, you would work more methodically. I'll get up here. This one's going to be the majority of this, right? because this goes pretty far up. But that's fine. It's just kind of, I want to have kind of a color blocking theme. And you are definitely not going to see all of this. This is just a first layer. We're going to do a ton of stuff to it. Now I have glue all over me. And then we have this beautiful, like, gold checkered. Okay, so it's going to go to about there. Right there. So if you didn't have Mod Podge, what else could you use? You could use white glue mixed with a little bit of water. You could use Tim Holtz collage medium. This would be pretty expensive to do a Tim Holtz collage medium. Any sort of, you could use matte medium. Anything that is made to go over a big area. Okay, that is cool. Oh my gosh. This is my favorite so far. And yes, I'm gluing them to the underneath ones because I'm painting on top of my stack. So if you don't want to glue your stuff to your stuff, don't paint on top of your stack. Brilliant feedback from Tara Jacobson. Okay, let's do this one. Now, I would have no problem doing pieces of this because I have a bunch of little pieces. But it does look like I have enough to do a full across. And I just want to show you, you don't have to have great, like if somebody gives you a Christmas present with great tissue paper, you don't have to have, I don't want the tape part. So for sure, I'm going to cut off the tape part, which is going to take us down a little bit. And I think what I might do on this one is do a top and bottom. Because look at this. We got this half and that half. I don't save little pieces, but I save pieces that are interesting. We're going to cut this in half. And then we're going to put that spots that we liked in the middle. There we go. Is there a piece that's just free? I gotta be free. Oh God, I'm singing on the internet. Oh my gosh. I went to my granddaughter's daycare today. And the babies were outside. And the teacher was like, you want the September song? And I'm like, the September song? And it was the do you remember? The 21st night of December. It was disco. She makes the babies listen to disco. I was charmed. And they were all bebopping along. How funny was that? And they're like one and something. That's how you wind up hearing stuff out of time. Like my friend's I didn't have a big brother, but I had a friend who had a big brother. And so we were into Judas Priest and all this hardcore, rock that was older than us when we should have been doing Sean Cassidy and them. And, we loved Pink Floyd and all of that. And so those babies are going to have core memories of disco that will not fit right with their timeline as tiny humans. That's a hoot. That got pulled up. Okay, there we go. Now we have that in the middle. Let's see which of ours is bigger, the top or the bottom. Where did our things go? Okay, let's do this one. Nope, let's do this one up here and this one down here. Because that'll cover there. All right, perfect. And I'm trying to get it over the edge so I'm not totally painting the one below. Which is how I stick my art to my art. It frequently happens. It's fine. If you don't want it to happen, don't glue in a stack. Don't wear your work clothes or your good clothes. Just try to be mindful, unlike me. All right, so we want to go to about there. I may have to put some more up under there. Let's turn it, turn up, and get some glue to get this part stuck. And I think decoupage and Mod Podge and all that is one of the, if you're hesitant to start crafting and you think that you can't do it, start with Mod Podge or decoupage, because you can't really screw it up. It's just functionally gluing stuff down. Look how cool that is. That's pretty cool. And especially if you're using something like napkins like this, or you're using tissue paper, you're getting a really cool, vibrant look without even having to do any of the work, right? You could stop there. You could just make that your background. We're going to do some more fancy stuff, but if you like the way this looks, you could just stop right there. Now I'm into music today, which is really bad because then I'm singing on the internet again. And I am not musically inclined. That glue? We'll have to come back and see if that glued. What I'll probably do for the stuff that isn't glued is, instead of coming back to glue it, I'll just rip it off. Now, what's next? We're done with this one. This is very specific, so I have to be careful using that because it could turn out to be one that kind of takes things over. Oh my gosh. This one. All right. So, I love this. Let's go ahead and cut off a hunk. And you can see right there, there's a hole in it. It's fine. I don't mind that at all. It has 2 holes in it, right? Okay, I feel like it goes this way. So I need about yay much. Ooh, this has already been pulled off. Let me see if there's another layer. You have to get all of the layers of the napkin off, or when you go to do it, you're going to glue the bottom layer of the napkin on, and you're going to pick it up, and it's going to come right up. It's hilarious. Hilarious. Ask me how I know. Because I've been all like, this is amazing, and just doing napkins, and then I didn't. It was early on in my channel, and I did this whole project, kind of like this, I guess. You never saw it, so I don't feel bad. Where I made these napkin backgrounds, and I was like, oh, this is so fun. And when I came back, I was like, why is it peeling up? And literally, the whole thing was ruined because every one of them was a napkin that I hadn't pulled all the layers off of, which caused me trauma, so I didn't use napkins again for a while. I don't like napkins as much as tissue paper, and I don't know if that's just because I use tissue paper so much. Like, I use tissue paper to make collages all the time, and so for me, it's a medium I'm really, really comfortable with. And if you are starting to feel like, ooh, I don't know if I want to use that thing, just check and see if you don't want to use something just because maybe you're a little... Did I just not paint that part of it? If you're just a little uncomfortable because it isn't something you use all the time. So I feel way more comfortable with tissue paper just because I use it for my backgrounds all the time. And so I can tell even here, I'm like, okay, I have that one coming up that's a napkin. I'm going to have to make sure I get all the layers. What if I don't get all? It'll be fine. Because now I know that that's hilarious. And I would have posted it and showed you. And then fixed it, right? But back when I was a baby YouTuber, I assumed you had to know what you were doing. Come to find out, nobody does. We're all winging it. Oh, and don't forget, we have to see how this all works on the watercolor. That'll be exciting. Okay, let's try not to have such a line with this. Pull it down. There we go. And this, why is there extra? Oh, there's tape. Is there tape? There's tape. Oh, I would have picked a little bit different part. It'll be fine. I would not pick the tape part, but if there's tape, then we're just going to have to work around it, and it will be fine. All will be well. It's like a little fin right in the middle of my artwork. Excellent. So this one has a fin and a hole. Let's get our snips out and see if we can do some surgery on this. Okay. And then we shall tape this part down. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, that's over. Oh, it might even be fine because it's almost to the edge. I'm painting the Mod Podge a little bit more on the top because I do want a sealed surface, and this would be going down into the mixed media paper. All right, what's our next one? Oh, this one. Okay, so here's how you do your napkins. So this is, we're gonna first off cut this in half because I only need a half. And from my understanding, and I am not a napkin expert, there are 2 or 3 ply napkins. We know for sure there's one inner ply. I cut off all my fingernails yesterday at exactly the wrong time. Oh, and my shakies are coming out. So that is one layer. Now we need to take a peek and see if there's another layer. It does not look like it. Let's tear a wee bit of the edge and see. Nope, I think it's one layer. And if it's a 3 layer, I'll tell you that I messed up because now I'm fine with it. It also feels different. I don't know how different it'll be to work on with the stuff that I always use, but it feels more clothy and less plasticky, if that makes any sense. One of the reasons why it is harder to use materials you don't generally use is that you don't know how they're going to react to the products you always use. So like, is it going to take paint well? Is it going to take embossing well? That's what's going to be fun to find out. It's kind of pretty, huh? Very Gretchen Roman feeling to me. Let's see. Do we really like it with this? Let's see if we can find... I don't know if I love that. I feel like I have something better than that. That's not bad. It just isn't as bold. All right, we'll go to the stash. Okay, so I'm looking for something in like a dark blue. Not really sending me. Probably hate that the least. I don't know, I'm going for hate the least. Oh my gosh, look at this. Bananas. We're gonna have to use the bananas. All right. I don't like any of these with that. So we are going to just grab a piece of vintage paper and put, because this is really my art, right? I am making backgrounds with you, but at the end of the day, I want to have cool backgrounds to use for my art. So I'm not just going to use tissue paper just because I said it was tissue paper. We're going to make a cool background that I want to use in my art going forward. I love ya. Just not enough to stick to a theme, obviously. And I am super sorry because now what's going to happen is every time you get a present with some tissue paper, you're going to be like, oh, I have to save that tissue paper. And you're going to wind up with a whole bunch of tissue paper at home. Okay, there we go. All right. Where did that pink banana go? Pink banana, pink banana. Ooh, we're going to have a piece of that. That is crazy pants. And I think my friend had a subscription to some place that sent out tissue paper. I don't know. But she had a lot of it. And was not an artist, so she wasn't using it for art. I think she was using it for presents. All right. The watercolor is sticking to each other. All right, let's put this on. Okay. There we go. That is too Tuya pink for this. But what about this thing? Yeah. So here's why this will work with this and like a cute light pink won't work with it. You need to have an equal amount of saturation, how full of color something is. And if you were to put something light and cute with it, that's why none of the things looked right with this, because this has so much color in it, so much saturation in it. And so anything you put by it would look really, really washed out. But now when we have, you know, the bananas that are like smacking you in the face, and then these flowers that are very, very colorful and fully saturated, that will pair together beautifully and feel cohesive and like they belong together. And you may find that yourself, right? You may find that you like real muted colors. Like I use a lot of colors with a lot of black in them and like vintage colors. And you may be the kind of person that likes really highly saturated colors with a lot of vibrancy in them. Really try to look at your art and other people's art and figure out what you like. And then you could still use all the techniques and stuff that you see everybody use. But when you see Tim Holtz do all vintage, he has a gal that designs for him. If I could make a guess, I think it's Sharon. But she does everything in all real bright, pretty colors. So she takes all the products he makes and does them in really bright, pretty colors. And that just is because you get to pick how you use products in your artwork. I'm trying to see if there's anything teal. Could we use, that's a lot of the same background. Oh, here's a teal. Hold on. Oh, wow. That and this? Yes. See how they're both kind of muted? So they'll go well together. I don't want to make garish backgrounds. I want to make pretty backgrounds that I can then build on. Okay, let's start with these guys. And get us a nice piece. Okay, look at that. We're coming to the end. I'm going to have to wash that brush out good right away. I kind of want, oh, we'll see. Maybe we'll cut it off and do, maybe we'll cut some of them off and do borders of the parts I like at the bottom. I don't know yet what I'm doing. I just know that I had a half an hour that I could come play with you and start to get something done. And that's what you should do when you have a little bit of time. Jump in there, get done what you can get done, and that's all you can do. Hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.